the water cool, so hopefully I'll be able to use it, year round, because I'm putting a heater in the pool as well. To use it.
Right. Well, let me start over because I didn't realize, this whole going live thing is new to me. So um, I actually forgot to hit the go live button. So I'm going to introduce us again. So my name, for those of you tuning in, my name is Scott Hammon. I work as a contractor for DIY pools and spas as a coach for people that are going through the process. I too have gone through the process. Today, so far, we have about five owner builders that had said they wanted to come in, but right now we got Karen. Karen's out of Florida, and she's real close to getting done. I mean, what do you said April? You're doing plaster, right?
The end of April. Yeah, and yeah, the only reason I'm waiting till the end of April is because of the pickleball court. Otherwise, I could get finished with it sooner.
Yeah, yeah. So we were discussing before I forgot to hit the go live button that she's got a pickleball court. She's an instructor for pickleball. And what's the town? You're up on the Panhandle, you said, but you didn't quite get in. You cut out in the beginning.
Destin?
Okay, Destin. So yeah, if you're interested, she's big in the community. I know it's growing. Pickleball is growing really big here. And then we also talked about you're in Florida. Often the case, people put in these screened enclosures, which add a little bit of complexity, not too much, but um, I was telling her that I certainly can understand it. And then she said it also she needs it because she's got bears. So, um,
You're
I've thought about it myself. My pool is probably way big to try to do something about it, but one of those things that a lot of people don't realize, especially with salt pools, is bees love salt or really any water source, and then salt water especially. So we are constantly dealing with the honeybees. We have three natural honeybee hives that live on our property.
wow.
And so during the height of the summer, when it's really stressful out there, we'll have a lot of bees just kind of hanging out. And if we have to give like disclaimers. If you're coming to the house and you are allergic to bees, you may want to bring your EpiPens. Although these guys don't get too aggressive around the pool. They're just kind of hanging out, drinking the water and
Yeah,
so on. But yeah, having a screened enclosure just gets rid of all that. And then the leaves. We have big oak trees here in Texas, and oaks drop their leaves in the spring. So right
yeah,
now, that's what I'm dealing with. No matter where, I don't have, we got some huge oaks around our pool, and so just keeping them out of the pool is important.
yeah,
Um, Mainly because they have these tannins in there that can stain both your deck and your plaster, especially if you're using a non-aggregate plaster like just regular plaster. It'll leave marks on there. Not that you can't get rid of them. They got these little kits that you can basically super chlorinate that area and kind of bleach out the marks. But if you can avoid it, never try not to leave leaves sitting on the bottom of your pool. Um, but we also have these little beetles that have come out of nowhere, thousands of them. And so my skimmer basket's constantly full with these little beetles, which is I don't know what they are, but they're everywhere right now. And I guess the water has attracted them. So it is fun seeing what new nature comes to your pool, and having that screen. I think for you, Karen, is going to be phenomenal. If anything, the frogs. I always feel bad for the toads. The toads get stuck in there. They get stuck in the skimmer basket, and if I don't get there in time, it's like a frog catastrophe. It's I just fished one out yesterday. He was hanging on for his dear life, but he couldn't hang. He had enough, and he was done. But often, maybe three or four frogs a month, or toads. We have toads out here. I have to fish out of the skimmer basket. And there's even an online thing where people are coming up with ingenious ways to like give them an off ramp out of there, but uh, I'm not that I'm not that motivated. So, Karen, what would you say has been your most difficult part of the build so far?
Well, I mean, none of it really has, I mean, it's gone smooth. The one contractor, did the dig, the steel and the plumbing, and he set up the equipment and he ran the bonding wire. See, he did a lot, quite a bit of work, you know,
Mhm.
and that contractor there that I'm talking about, he actually shared, so he's a pool builder
Okay.
and largest pool companies in my area, and decided, that he was going to go out on his own and do this himself and put more money in his pocket. And he's just a really kind soul. And he shared all of his contractors with me. So I was extremely blessed by him. He was like, "Who are you using for gunite?" And I told him, and he goes, "You might want to call this person." "Who are you using for?" Yeah, and so he shared his entire contractor base with me. And so he made it very easy for me. Um, and he's keeping in touch. He just actually contacted me this morning and said, did you backfill yet? Yes. When's your masonry guy coming? The 23rd. When are you doing? So he's like taking care of me like I'm his daughter. It's been awesome. And so I hope to bless someone else with the same information, if there's any DIYers here in my area. He's been very helpful for me. Can you hear me, Scott? What? You got frozen. Can you hear me?
Karen, I can hear you. So oh, now I can't hear you. I think you may be muted now, but I was hearing you talk. But I'm
Scott talking? Who's talking?
Grant.
Grant.
I just joined,
Oh,
but I don't know. Scott doesn't seem to be.
it's almost like he froze. Yeah,
It looked
see,
like it looked like he put in the chat that he's having some technical difficulties here. So
I just saw that in the chat. Karen, say hi to Grant for me while I figure this out. Hi, Grant.
how you doing, Karen? Karen, are you just like a DIY pooler in the group?
Yeah, yeah, yes, I'm in the midst of building my pool now.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, Scott.
All right. Sorry, guys. Yeah, my sound card crashed. Can you believe it?
Wow. Can you hear us, Scott?
We can hear him talking, but he can't hear.
Still. Yeah, kind of. Hold on. I'm fixing one more thing. Okay. All right. I think I got it all fixed. So on this system, I was running through the sound card. I had to go back to the default settings.
There you go. Can so you can hear us now?
Yes, sir. Grant, how are you?
I'm doing great. Things are moving
So,
along here.
so where are you in your build today?
So today we've got all of our plumbing completed, rebar's done. Electrician is coming out tomorrow morning, and hopefully getting my inspection done on Wednesday so that we can start doing everything else. And yeah, I mean, if God willing, hopefully everything goes well. We can schedule for gunite Friday or something like that, or maybe early next week.
Very
You know, we're
nice.
we're we're ready to roll. Um, so yeah, I did have two questions. The main ones about like the electrical, and then like more or less like backfill and stuff like that. But so for the bonding on my rebar has all been completed. I've got like the 4 points, and I've got like the four tails that are coming out on the rebar there, and so that's all good. And I'm talking to the guy that my excavator is also the one that's going to be doing the pool deck. we're going to be doing pavers. So there's no mesh or anything like that that we need to bond to for that. But he said that the loop that goes around the pool isn't going to be done until he backfills all the trenches and then puts his base down for the pool deck. And so he was
Okay.
saying that he can do the bonding for that once he does all the backfill, and he can just put the number 8 wire all like he just touches each one of those tails and then pulls it back to the equipment.
Mhm.
And so I think for my inspection, my first electrical inspection, all I need is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just need those 4 tails to show on the pool, and I need to have it where it's, they're clamped in on the rebar. And then I need to have, the power and all that stuff run like to my sub panel, maybe even my automation system, and then have all my equipment set up and grounded and everything like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, so are you getting a rebar inspection?
So he can do the rebar, the electrical, like my fence inspection, all at the same time. Like I haven't even got my fence inspection yet. Like he was like, we can just do that all at the same time, because as long as your fence is good, then we can move on to the other ones.
Okay, so your plumbing is done?
Plumbing is done.
All right, and your the contractor, you had one contractor do everything, is that so far?
No, I've had a
Okay.
few so
Okay.
I've had separate plumber, separate rebar, and then separate excavation.
Okay.
But my rebar guy did the bonding of the rebar.
Right. He should have done a bonding loop all the way around, but he didn't. He just did tails.
He just did tails.
Okay. And then the excavator said he's going to do the bonding loop,
Yes, because he's going to backfill, because apparently the bonding loop has to sit on top of his
the pipe.
base. No, like the bait, like once he backfills like all the trenches, he's going to put down his, crushed stone or cement stone or whatever, and then backfill everything. And then that bonding loop sits on top of that where he's about to put his pavers.
Okay. Um, Certainly a technique. I don't know why it has to go on top of the paver base, but what's most important is you can show that you have the required number of connections to your rebar cage for your
Right.
county, and that they're all connected using the proper bonding clips,
Yeah.
and then that is complete and goes all the way back to your equipment.
He did run one all the way back to the equipment.
Okay, and but you haven't had it in, you're going to fill it before your inspection. That's what's concerning to me.
Well,
The
no,
only,
I wasn't going to do gunite. I wasn't going to do gunite before my inspection. I was hopefully, because I think for
oh,
my
okay.
electrical inspection, he can come and he can take a look at everything.
Uh-huh.
He knows that the rebar is bonded, and then there can be another inspection in between that and my final, where he comes and sees the bonding loop around the paver patio deck. But everything else it's got the tails, and then it's got all of my equipment and all that.
Okay. Yeah. So I would just make sure you document everything in case he forgets when you do your final.
Okay.
Take, take
The
lots of pictures,
inspector.
right?
Yeah, document meaning I take pictures. Like if you haven't seen, a lot of us will just take pictures out of for fun. Like I was just kind of sneaking a peek at Karen's update, and I could see her awesome pickleball court. But um, having those pictures as a point of record showing, yes, this was properly bonded. You could show in the clips and then showing the wire going back. Because it sounds like your inspector wants to do it when everything's all set, like your equipment pad is set.
Right.
And so the only it's you certainly can do that. You just gotta It means you got to tie your plumbing in, and then you're gonna have to keep the thing all pressure tested because the biggest point of you got two big risk points for your plumbing. One, the gunite, and two, when you're backfilling, developing a leak in your plumbing loop.
So that actually leads me into my other question because so the plumbing's been completed and my equipment's been set. So the
Okay,
like everything has been set up. It is pressurized.
perfect.
Um,
Is there a
we're
gauge?
we're having our fantastic, Virginia weather where last week on Monday and Tuesday we're in shorts and t-shirts and 80-degree weather, and then we're back down into the 40s and tomorrow. So we're like I know the pressure is changing. Um, when I checked it yesterday, when they finished up, it was around like 18 psi on the gauge, which I thought was low. I thought they typically try and go in the 30s. But when I went out there today, it lowered a bit. And so I sent it to my plumber, and he said that it's probably the caps that are in the skimmers. And he goes, I could put water in the skimmers and see if some air is
Hmm.
bubbling
Oh,
there.
you air pressured it. He air pressured it.
Yeah, so since we're in a freeze area, they do air
Yeah,
pressure
yeah,
because obviously the water can freeze.
yeah, yeah. So he's probably right. It's probably those closed caps that they do,
Yeah.
because those are not airtight so much as watertight. But that's what I would go with that. It does if it's dropping, it's drop. I mean, that's a pretty big drop.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they started at because like they left and I was like in the middle of doing something in the house, and so like they
Hmm.
rolled out of there before I was even able to tell them
Hmm.
goodbye. Um, but it dropped. It was probably at like 18, and now it's probably at like 16.
Well, that's not too much, but dropping down to 18, like you said, they should have probably pressurized it around 30. Um,
That's what I think, but I don't know what the starting point was. So, I mean, I'll
but
probably check it again this evening and see if it dropped even further.
right. Yeah,
But
that would be beneficial. And then most likely, I mean, my plumber warned me of the same thing. And mine was pressurized with water. That those little plugs that they put into the skimmers to hold them closed may actually cause a they may leak right there over long periods of time.
okay,
But you definitely want to make sure everything's resolved before you backfill.
okay, all right. Um, I guess my next question would be, so for the pool lights, um, we just have like those. They're like the LED, like Hayward Color Logic lights that are they're like little cylinders.
Hmm.
And all you do is like the PVC goes through, and then you tighten them, and then that like it essentially expands in the pipe to create the seal to hold them in place and make sure there's no water getting back behind them. When I'm doing my electrical inspection, do you think like when I was talking to one of my contractors, he was saying, I just got to put the pipe there and so that the inspector can see the conduit is run to the light location
Hmm.
so that and then just put like a little string in the conduit so that when gunite comes, the light's not in the actual conduit when gunite's there. So we don't have to
That's
cover it or anything
true.
like that. Okay. And then they can shoot the gunite, like we just cap it, and then gunite will come in, they'll knock everything out. And then once that's completed, you guys, we can, cut it back and then just pull the light through the conduit with the drawstring back to the panel box and then hook it up there.
Yep.
Okay, so that doesn't
And
need to
that's
be, those don't need to be
no.
connected for the electrical. So what I'm What I
It's
think
almost
I'm like
impossible.
understanding is that I just need to have the bonding of the rebar shown, and then all of the equipment hooked up with like the panel box and everything hooked up, like all of that grounding tail to the equipment there. So I
It,
wonder if because when my rebar guy, like he has those 4 points, those four tails sticking up, and
mhm.
then there's just one line. It's one long line that he ran all the way to my equipment. Like, but
Oh, he put,
it's not
okay.
around the pool.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. I don't see it. It looks like it goes from like one end of the pool just to the other, like through the pool. Like it goes along the bottom of the pool.
Okay. Um, every municipality is different. So for the recommended grounding for mine was at least six, I think it was at least six connections to the rebar cage in a loop. So when the guy just my guy, my rebar guy just literally ringed about a foot down from the top of the rebar copper wire, and then it came out, um, and he ran it. Actually, my plumber then picked it up and ran the copper wire along with all the plumbing run, and it just was sitting there along the pipes, and they all came together with he ran it so that the lighting conduits, which he used gray for that,
Mhm.
he just taped or zip tied or something the bonding wire to it. So I had five or six gray pipes coming up with the bonding wire, big bonding wire loop on top of it. However, I've seen others where they'll do those little pigtails as well. And that's in case you have any metal equipment close, I think it's within 5 feet of your pool, like metal railing or metal, anything like that. You're supposed to ground those as well.
Right.
And so they'll put those little pigtails on it. And the whole thing is to be grounded to the pool so that if anything gets hit by lightning, it goes through the cage and into the earth instead of, um, people in the pool. That
Right.
one in a million chance, Doc. But for your electrical inspection, most honestly, he's going to probably look for that grounding wire going all the way back to your grounding post on your main panel or your sub panel. If you're using Hayward, that'll be your control panel, your Omni PL.
Yep.
And then he'll look for that another grounding wire going to all your equipment, your heater, your pumps, your blower if you have it. They will all also have those grounding plugs to ground back to your panel.
So if I have the Omni, like the Hayward Omni panel,
Mm-hmm.
do I need a sub panel?
No, it has a 100 amp sub panel inside of it.
It's got a 100 amp sub panel inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay,
It's one of
sweet.
the
So
reasons why I went with Hayward over Pentair.
shit. Okay, that's okay. That's I'm gonna have to call my electrician because I think tomorrow he's gonna be coming here with that sub panel. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think there's like 6 or 8 slots in that thing too, where
No, there's more than that. I think it's 14, 14
maybe.
single poles. I think it's either 14 or 16. Um, and you could either do single pole or double pole. So like my pumps are on double pole, 220 amp runs, single phase. And then I got a variety of different things. I filled mine up because I also used that sub panel to run my pavilion. And then all my outdoor lighting comes out that sub
Well,
panel.
see, mine's only got 8.
Does it only have 8? I have to
Yeah,
remember, it's been
I've
gotta
got
have more
8,
than that.
and then
No,
yeah,
no, it's gotta have more than 8. Come on. Let me
mm-mm.
check real quick. I may be wrong. I may have done some magical things.
I don't know why. I always have an issue with the camera on this.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna be like, I was just gonna show you because I've got a picture of it, but
Oh yeah. I'm looking at it now. This funny thing is I wired it myself. I'm just misremembering. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not the right one. Oops. Uh, can't even find my own pictures. But if your camera's not working, um, you can always just share it on your screen. I've opened up the sharing rights to everybody.
let me see.
Karen, which panel did you use? Or are you using
I have the Omni.
Omni? Here we go.
Yeah, I have
Yep,
electric.
you are correct, Grant. 8 total
Okay.
plugs. 8 total poles.
Yeah.
Let me go back and figure out how I did this. But I know I used like the left side, I did all 220, and that's what's running the pumps, and the air blower is 220. And then the single poles, I have like a 20 amp run out to the pavilion, 20 amp run out to the heater. The heater only needed 110 because it's a gas heater.
Mhm.
And then I have a 15 amp run to the light inverter, a 12 volt, 10 to 12 volt controller box. And then I put my equipment in a little shed, so then I have 115 to the shed, which gave me a little outlets and lighting in there.
Yeah. That's what I think I'm gonna like. Right now we don't have the need for that, but I did want the 100 amp out there so that I could like eventually we'll probably do like an outdoor kitchen and then build a shed and things like that where I'll want electrical out to it, and so I wanted a good spot for me to pull off of.
Yeah, that's why we ran, I think Hayward normally, or even the plans normally recommend 50 amps. Like you got a 100 amp board, just run 100 amps if you can do it. And ask your electrician, there's a actual spot on the side of the box itself to put an outlet. Really easy to do.
Okay.
It's on the right side, but just to have an extra outlet in case you need who knows what, right? You'll have that immediately available for you.
Okay.
Scott, can I also ask a question about pebble finish? Have you or Glenn, it's Glenn, right?
Grant.
Grant.
Grant, sorry.
Funny, my
Have you guys ever heard of a pebble product by SGM? S like Sam, G like Gray, M like Mary, SGM, River Rock?
So I want to say I was in a call with somebody and they brought up that product.
That
Um,
it looks very similar to
yeah, I
Diamond
think
Bright's bags. Like I wonder if that's their.
It does, doesn't it? I was
So
thinking the
Di
same thing. It looks like
Di
it's almost a rebranded.
so isn't Diamond Bright is a non-pebble, isn't it? I thought the River Rock under SGM is their pebble product.
Right. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, I think that's what we're saying. It's just like, so Diamond Bright has a few different types of finish, and so the River Rock is one of their finishes. So it'll be more of a pebble finish than their just like regular
Okay.
quartz.
So, Karen, I just looked up the company. I didn't realize they are actually Florida based.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't know whether anyone had experience with, I know Pebble Tech is the most expensive and the warranty is the best in the market. But, I've gotten two quotes for Pebble Tech and they're way different, for the same product. One quote was over 12 grand and the other quote was at 8. So it was close to a $5,000 difference, and then I'm waiting for my quote to come in tomorrow for the SGM. The contractor was here on Saturday to look at the gunite and he was very pleased with the way that looked. And he said, I'll do the quote for you on Monday. And when I looked up some information about SGM, they said it's a very comparable product to Pebble Tech.
yeah, and Pebble Tech will vary extremely depending on what you get.
Right.
Um, like I think my quotes, because we don't have SGM even distributor out here.
Okay.
It's a Pebble Tech and then the other one, Pebble Stone or Stone, whatever. Um,
Stonescapes.
yeah. And so, you know, it's really your installer has to be certified in that whatever company they're using to get
Yeah.
the warranty.
Yes.
So the installer I had was a Pebble Tech guy, and I'm like, cool, here's what we're looking at. And then he came back with several quotes based on the type of Pebble Tech product I had,
Yes. What did you pick,
which
Scott?
I picked mini instead of micro Pebble. It's in my, this is sad. You think I'd remember this stuff, but it was Pebble Tech white mini with the Puerto Rican blend. Aqua white, excuse me. Pebble Tech Aqua white mini with the Puerto Rican blend. And there's these three kind of standards. I didn't get like abalone added to it, or not abalone, the yeah, the shell. I went with glass instead. But the price difference between the super fine aggregate and the medium aggregate, which I think it's mini and then micro and then standard, mini, micro, if I remember, was in the thousands, like you were seeing, $5,000 to $6,000 difference. And even the installer was surprised at how much difference it was because he doesn't get a lot of orders, the micro or the very smallest one. And honestly, I'm perfectly happy with what we got. It does, we've been swimming in it for a year, more than a year now. We don't have those horror stories about people rubbing their feet wrong or ripping their uniform or their under, not their swimsuits or anything. But at the same time, it's not super slick either. So when the youngins are in there, I don't feel like they're going to slip on the pool. They'll
Hmm.
slip on the pool deck because they won't listen when they're not supposed to be running. But um, inside the pool, it's fine. And if you really want a super slick, smooth pool, you got to really get it um, polished anyway, which takes away the warranty because you're taking a layer of the aggregate down a little bit. So I think, Karen, I don't see a problem. I remember as soon as I pulled it up on this site here, I remember the other person was asking about it. We looked at it for quite a while. It looks just like Pebble Tech would. I mean, the bags they use, the way their process all seems to be the same. Plaster is plaster. So as long as you have a certified installer for that company to warrant to honor the warranty, you should get a similar level of length of product. And
Mhm.
you being in Florida will probably save some money because they're not going to have to freight that stuff across country like MPT would.
Right,
And it,
right,
because MPT or SCP is the corporation that owns the PebbleTech. They got to freight that across the country.
right. And then with regard to I just opened my boxes of waterline tile just came in, and when I opened them, I didn't realize they were going to have that glue, and I realized the glue is there to protect them from, not breaking during shipping. Do you know the glue I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's a 6x6 porcelain tile,
Mm-hmm.
and there's strands of glue, light strands of glue.
Oh, on
And
the
so
back of the tile.
on actually it's on the glazed part.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And so I'm wondering, I'm going, oh, I should ask, should I remove that glue before they put the water line tile on, or after, it'll all just fall into the pool, if I try to scrape it off once they have it on the water line, you know what I
All
mean?
right. Is it MPT tile?
No, it is not.
Some other company? Okay. So it's some kind of, it doesn't peel off?
It peels off with I mean, you could use your nail, but I don't feel like doing that with 12 boxes of waterline tile. Or you could take a microfiber cloth and just wet it a little bit, and the glue comes off,
Okay, is your installer will take care of all that then, I'm sure. Because you know that the last process of tile once you grout it is washing the tile.
the guy that does the waterline tile should clean it.
Yeah, so when you put a tile on, he'll put the mortar behind it, which will be a special mortar for pools. He'll set all the tile, and then when he does the grout line, that's another kind of a mud that you fill in, and he's got to clean all that off. He's got to deglaze it essentially, and that washing process will probably take the glue off too. If you said water's taking it off, to get the grout off, they use a wet sponge and they just scrub all the grout off. And it's like usually 3 or 4 passes just to get the grout off. So I'm sure that glue will come right off with it.
Okay. All right. I didn't think about that.
But I've never seen that before. That's very interesting. I guess to protect the tile from cracking.
Yes, because they stack them one on top of the next,
Yeah, I've seen it, but it's always been on the bottom of the tile, not
on
on
the
not on
right
top.
on the
Yeah,
glazed portion of it. Yeah.
interesting. We learn something every day.
Yeah.
Okay. So SGM. I'm gonna ask them. Do you remember what the warranty is?
Curtis said 10 years.
Okay. So
I
that's the
believe,
middle of the road for PebbleTech. I know they got the 12 and 15-year products, but those are really expensive.
right.
There it is. I got it up right here.
And the guy that was here yesterday from SGM, he said, he had done his daughter's pool 19 years ago, and he said he was just visiting with her the other day, and her pool looks as good as it did the day he did it.
Yeah, so
So
any
it's all a matter of how you take care of your water, right?
100%. We got a person trying to get in. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. Okay, Grant's taken off. Yeah, it's absolutely. You can have these finishes go 20 years or more. It's how well you take care of your pool, making sure that you brush it from time to time. And usually you can refinish it by draining and having it, if you get it gets real rough if you have a heavy water. I don't know if you do, probably not in North Florida. But if scale is building up on the bottom, they can actually drain it, acid wash it, and use um, diamond pads to resurface it, basically smooth it all out again.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I tell people when they want, oh, I want a super smooth pool that's, I'm worried about it being too rough. I tell them, well, just try it as it's designed for a couple of years. And if you don't like it, then do the diamond polishing because you're going to pay the same amount to get that diamond polishing. But why
Right.
not wait and refresh your pool 10 years down the road.
Right.
Because if you do it early, you're not going to be able to do it again. Probably.
Right.
You may be able to get it twice, but yeah, every installer I've talked to, they say the same thing. If you properly maintain your pool, keep the chemistry up, brush it from time to time, this will last you 20 years.
Yeah. And so the other question I had before I forget is it heard of that people fill their pool with well water?
I did.
100% of your fill was well water?
100%. It turned green as you can believe. Super green. But if you there's a metal exquisite called metal out that you put in there, and what it does, and are you going to do startup yourself, or are you going to have somebody come do a startup?
I plan on having a guy come and help.
Okay, so just make sure, ask him, have you started up well water pools before?
Yeah, I plan on asking him. Yeah.
And if he has, good. If he hasn't, then you got to tell him, hey, you better be prepared. Go get some lessons. He can go over to his distributor, his local SCP guy, and talk to him about it, and they'll set him up with all the chemicals. It's not anything magic. All it is they've got to put this bonding agent that goes into the water, and it makes iron and magnesium bigger. Literally, that's all it does. And that way your filter will filter it all out. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up let me see. Let me turn. Can you hear that music, by the way?
No.
Okay. I was playing around with Zoom. Supposedly I'm supposed to allow theme music in, but I can't figure it out, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you. Can you see the video playing?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to zoom forward. This is my big video on pool plaster. That's my pool. Right there. See how green that looks? That's what my pool looked like right after I filled it with well water.
Okay.
So don't be shocked by that, because in 3 days, I think this is maybe day 3, still very cloudy, but by the end of it, come on. In no time, I had it super clear, super blue.
Okay.
So it is a little weird. In fact, you can, nope. Here we go. Where is it? It does, when you first fill it with your well, the water will absolutely turn green.
Yeah. And so I was listening to a video today with Mike Stevenson, and it was the plaster video, and he was talking about buying a new hose and putting like a material on the end of the hose so the metal part of the material doesn't touch the pool. And did you buy a new hose?
I did buy a new hose because I needed one, to be honest. I needed my hose bibs. I had one that's a new hose bib that's next to the pool, the plumber put in, but I wanted to fill it off another hose bib, and that's like 100-foot run. So I bought a new hose. If you've got a decent enough hose, it's not going to be a problem. And then having the metal touch the pool plaster could cause problems. So you know what I used? Dirty sock.
Yeah.
No, it was clean, but an
Yeah.
old sock. I just rubber banded an old sock around the thing and just let it go.
Right. Right. For
And
sure.
then they do make pre-filters that you could consider using for your well water. That's supposed to pull the iron out beforehand. I tried it. I don't know that it did what it needed to do. It still was green.
Got
Maybe it
it.
would have been worse I don't know. But really, after 7 days of filtering and adding that metal iron out, metal exquestriate, um, the pool went nice and clear. It went from green to blue cloudy to crystal clear.
Right. And
And
then
my
I
wife was so excited because she was convinced, oh, we're gonna have a crappy pool.
yeah. When you were just playing that video, I saw no walking on the new plaster for 28 days. So your gunite needs to cure 28 days, and then your plaster needs to cure 28 days as well.
Yes, ma'am.
But
That's
but
why. That's
but you fill the pool right away.
100%. So and I just linked the video if you want to go back and watch it later. But yeah, so it's if you're doing a stone aggregate, they may wait a day, come back in and do an acid wash. They should, or they may do it that afternoon, but usually they'll come back the next day.
Yeah, it's usually a
And
3-day process.
right, and that's exactly what mine was. They cleaned the pool the first day, set all the fixtures, came back the next day, did all the plaster, came back the third day with a whole bunch of muriatic acid, just went and cleaned it, sprayed all the blue down. And it was funny because my installer even warned me. He said, you're going to see your plaster change colors 3 times. Once when we put it in, twice when we wash it, and the third time when you get it full and it actually cures.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm glad he told me that because um, when it was first going in, I was like, man, this is super blue. I didn't want it that blue,
Yeah.
but no, it all came out perfect.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That's the main thing that I had for you.
Okay.
Um, I went out and checked the pressure today. When they first did the pressure on my pool, it was at 35, and today it was at 30.
Uh,
Um,
water or air?
water.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. Mine went from 35 to I think 27 by the end of it. And I called my plumber a couple times and he was, like, Mr. Scott, todo bien, no problem. So,
Yeah.
um, but he told me, call it if it changes. Don't wait. And I did. And he said, no, that's fine. And in the end, it's holding everything perfectly. And we had a
Yeah.
lot of heavy machinery going across ours. I'm actually surprised it made it.
I just get nervous about the whole thing because I'm like, what if after you fill the pool, all this dirt that they just backfilled with yesterday, what if something, I'm just trusting God, but I'm going, what if something goes wrong after they put all that dirt and oh my gosh, hopefully the
Well,
bonding was done right. Because when the inspector came, they make us get 2 different permits here where I live, and I didn't call for the electrical inspection, and he's like, did you do your steel inspection yet? And I said, no. And he goes, how about your bonding? And I said, no. And he said, well, I'm here right now, so I'm gonna look at both of it for you. And it all looks good to me right now, so I'm just gonna pass it. So as soon as you call for your inspection, I'll intercept it and pass it for you. So he came and he did the, the plumbing, pressure, the steel and the bonding all in one day. And then tomorrow is the electric, and that will be the next inspection. There's not a lot of inspections.
no, so in fact, I had no inspections. So, some people are like, oh, you don't have to worry about it. But then I don't have anybody telling me if it's right or not. So
Right?
I had to trust. I asked a lot of questions. I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of different people. And in the end, I got a great product. I had great subs that did everything.
Yeah.
So, it's not that complicated of a build either. So I think if your plumbing's in, you've already backfilled, that's the danger point for all that dirt coming in and settling around there. Next, are you going to do concrete or pavers? Pavers? Okay. Um, yeah, I don't. That goes in. It's not like you're dumping a lot of weight all at once. Um, I think you'll be fine. I think you're in a good place with only losing that little amount of pressure. And
Good.
then the bonding thing is really like a 1 in a million chance that you get hit by something. But um, yeah, I was actually looking at your fun pool. If it if it your pipes didn't go wrong with that zero turn whipping around, or not zero turn, that skid steer flying all over the place, dropping dirt in, those pipes are good.
Yeah.
And I had the same thing. I had the exact same thing. In fact, the same kind of tracked system, and he was just bringing in dirt fast as he could, filled it all in, and all the pipes made it. Yours are fine. Um, and yeah, my only other question as I was viewing is like, how are you going to keep the pickleball out of the thing, but you're putting it in a cage? So I was just imagining like pickleballs going into the pool.
Yeah.
But
If you're good, your pickleball shouldn't go anywhere near the pool, but you know.
you said you're teaching though, so there's new ones.
Yeah, I'm a teacher and I play nationally. I'm actually going to Naples. Naples is the largest tournament in the world. It's also known as the biggest party in the world, and you have to get in the lottery to go and play.
Okay.
And for 2 years in a row, I didn't get in. And this year, my female doubles partner and I, we got in. So it's exciting because this is their 10th year anniversary, which is a big deal. And it was just my goal to play at the US Open. And so
How
that
fun. How
it's
good for you.
it's going to be exciting.
You know, it just amazes me how explosive that sport is.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
they they're in San Antonio here, they're going around converting all the old tennis courts over, leaving one or two courts, but most of them are going to pickleball. And
yeah.
then I live in a sleepy little town in a sleepy little county of like 70,000 total people, but we have a municipal pickleball complex
Yeah.
that they've built out there, and it's a big deal.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot
good
of
to
fun.
see. Yeah, it's good to see people. It's brought a lot of people into exercise, because
Hmm.
you don't really need a lot of skill to pick it up. I mean, I've been playing tennis since I'm 12, so it's an easy transition for me. But I tell people all the time, it's a big social sport and you don't have to have any hand-eye coordination. You have to have no skills. You can play because you're on the court usually playing doubles, so you don't have to run
Right.
there and try it. I don't know anyone that's tried pickleball and hasn't gotten addicted to it because it is so much fun. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and I work with a wide I have a in my day job a wide variety of people that work for me, 23 all the way up to my age,
yeah,
and they're all playing, all
yeah.
ages. So it's definitely become the new national sport.
So yeah, actually my best friend is my doubles partner and she's pulling in my driveway now. We're gonna go and drill for a
Okay.
couple of hours. So I try to drill twice a week and play twice a week. There she is right now. She's
Well, that's a wonderful segue, Kara, because we are at the end of the hour. Karen, sorry, not Kara. Kara's my daughter-in-law.
that's
Karen. Um, Interesting enough, my sister's name is Karen.
all
But
right.
uh, thanks for joining. Hope you had an informative time, and Grant, I know he did. And I hope that maybe you'll come in when we do this again.
So much for your time, Scott.
All righty, take care.